Hello, my Hope More Facebook family. I am excited about my reunion tonight. Have you guys been enjoying the month of June and our reunions? And I coined the phrase ReJUNeions. I know it's corny, but that's okay. Here at Hope More, you know we love to elevate. So listen, I need you to come on. I think yesterday my little story got over 285 loves and likes. So I know whether you're watching live or replay that you are nosy enough to want to get on and find out about the Black Girl Magic from my senior class of 1992, Taylor County High School. Hey, you want to be on this particular show. And so what I need you to do, and you're going to help me out too, because I often get on the show and halfway through, I'm like, it's not showing up. I need you to get on your phone right now and go to the Hope More Facebook page. That's lowercase HOPE, uppercase MORE, Hope More Facebook page. And once you go there, make sure that you like my page, as well as go to this show and share it to your page. Share it to your group page on Facebook. Just make sure you go by the rules, okay? So sometimes it's hard for me to talk and do this at the same time, but I gotta share because this is history in the making. I don't know the next time I ever have this many Black magic girls from the class of 1992 on my show. And I hope the ones who have said yes don't regret it. Because some people are already nervous, but they have no reason to be, because this is going to be a fun reunion. And if you're my YouTube channel, I want you to please go ahead and subscribe. Click the bell so you will get a notification when I go live. Please. I know the summer has already commenced, but in July, I'm going to be doing a membership push on my YouTube channel. And similar to my Facebook page, it is lowercase HOPE, uppercase MORE. And some of y'all may ask, well, what is that about? It is literally the idea that it only takes a little hope. It only takes a little hope to want something more. So many times people think, you know what, life is sucking for me. I feel like I'm under Murphy's Law. Whatever I desire to have, it doesn't seem like it's working for me. And we know that even the Bible talks about having the faith the size of the grain of a mustard seed. And hope is smaller than faith. So literally, it doesn't take a lot of hope to be able to look forward and say, I'm going to have more out of life. So if that's you and you're one of the people like me who want to be an elevator, like you want to bring people to just a little bit more encouragement, then this show and this channel is for you. So finally, I get it up. I'm posting it to my page. I should post to my parents' page and everybody's page in the world, because you are getting exclusive. Come on now. I'm feeling the spirit. If you're watching now, I need you to definitely say hello. Tell me where you're watching from. If you're the class of 92, big ups, give a shout out to your girls. Now, some of my guests are a little more nervous than others, but they all need to be ready for the questions. So listen, I'm going to bring them on in a second, but I need you to come on, like, love, comment, because I want to know how many of you have gone or plan to go to your high school reunion. Now, if you're like my class, we've had a couple of gatherings over the years, but next year will be our 30th class reunion, guys. I know. Don't crack, Black, don't crack. 30-year reunion next year. And I'm excited to have these ladies on because they may not even know, but in high school, there were a group of, and I say a group, it's not necessarily that they were formally organized, but there were a number of Black young ladies who I just thought was beautiful, cool, smart, and sassy. And we had a senior trip to the Bahamas. I don't know, maybe we were all sitting at the same table during the captain's dinner in spring break 1992 Bahamas Cruise, and we stood up with, I believe, our chaperone and took a picture. So this picture came up a few years ago. I don't know who had a copy, and I was like, oh my God, we need to do a dinner, we need to get together. But secretly, I felt so honored to be at least cool enough to be in the picture that moment, and they don't even know for the longest. I'm like, oh man, I wish I was like, had dimples like Gigi and was sassy like Kiwanis and as bluntly honest as Greer, and just, classy and sort of like regal like Casilda, and then like tough like Sonja. And I have them here today. So without further ado, trying to give you guys a chance to come on, I'm about to bring on 5 of the hottest, well, I'm including myself, 6 of the hottest chicks that were in the class of 1992 at Taylor County High School. And I said I would bring them all at one time. We have Gigi, woohoo! We have Greer, yes. We have Casilda. I don't know what
Hi, ladies.
Hi, how are y'all doing?
Hi, my beautiful queens. How you doing?
All right. How you doing?
Y'all all dressed up. Look, I'm an hour behind you guys, and I totally just dropped the ball. So, okay, I'm in natural form. Y'all get into it.
Natural is good.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if you guys noticed, but I posted maybe an hour ago. I tried to find new images of you to post up. And so some of y'all who are more glam in the picture I had before, I made you, I found a picture where you're not as glam. And I tried to switch places. But I was like, you know what? Whether dressed up or dressed down, you all are all beautiful, all just wonderful people.
Oh,
yes.
thank you, my sister.
Sonja and Kiwanis will be joining us. Something happened and dropped out. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go around in a circle and ask that you guys just tell my Hope More audience your name and just a little bit about yourself. And you don't have to give your last name and your address and stuff like that, but just introduce yourself to my Hope More family. And I'm going to start with Gigi.
All right.
Hi, I'm Gigi. I live in the Atlanta area. I work in IT. That was what I wanted to do in high school, and I'm still doing it.
Hi, Gigi. See, that was great. I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to make you go first. It just went down. She's like, whatever. Okay, you right.
The camera loves you, honey.
So then I'm going to say Miss Greer, First Lady.
Hello, my name is Greer. I live in Perry, unfortunately. No, I'm just kidding. But I live in Perry. I work with the Taylor County School District. I work with special need kids, and I do part-time with special needs adults, and I love it.
Hi, Greer. So good to have you, honey. Thank you for introducing yourself. You guys are already here from Casilda, so she already keeping it 100. Would you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Casilda, aka Miss Cassie. Yes, G Fly G. Perry, Florida is where I come from, where I was raised. I'm currently living in Orlando, Florida. Currently a truck driver. I'm on the road right now, actually in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, honey. Okay, shout out.
All right.
No.
Yes.
Wow. Wait. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Wow.
Yeah, Baton Rouge.
Be careful.
I love this. And why I love this, not only is connecting to people I went to not just high school with, most of us were born and raised, or most of our life was together. So even if we were in different classes, we like saw each other from afar or near, grow up together. I have pictures of Gigi as a little girl. Oh my God, so cute. Or like Cassie at the end of a row, usually like one of the few little chocolate drops, smiling all big, I have the funniest stories of Greer. So we didn't just go to high school or graduate together. We sort of like the first 17, 18 years of our life were orbiting around each other. Would y'all agree?
Yes.
Agree.
Oh, yes. I think we figured it out early that we're all we have, so we always work close as people, as a class. I think so, too. I don't think nobody's closer than us. Who do you think closer than us? Nobody doing it big like this.
I agree. You know what? That's right, Cassie. I'm gonna go with what you just said. I don't know what happened to Sonja. I know she didn't chicken out on me. So she did. She was on her phone, and she may be switching over to her daughter's laptop. But I'm gonna get into the questions. Also tonight, you're gonna hear from Sonja, who I keep referring to, and she was actually here a second ago, so she must be coming back on. And you'll hear from our girl Kiwanis. Yep, and I kept looking at that picture from spring break, our senior year. And since that sort of is what prompted me to have this June reunion, I just wanted to ask, like, I think that was April 1992. Here we are, the end of 13 years when you include kindergarten, and we're on
Okay.
the senior trip. I just wanted to know, and I'll start going the other way. Casilda, what did you think, or what were you thinking about when we were like just getting on this ship and it's finally our turn? It's our turn to have our senior cruise, our big blowout before we graduated. What was on your mind?
Keeping it real, drinking and partying. Like no parents. We're out here open waters, baby. This international water. Let's get it. That's what I was thinking.
Yes.
Please, everybody, keep it real. Keep it real,
Yes.
okay? Honestly, be keeping it real. She made me laugh. But how about you, Gigi?
Pretty much the same. You know, it was the last semester of high school. I don't think I needed any credits or anything to graduate. I just wanted to have fun that last semester. So the senior trip and grad night at Disney World, I just wanted to have fun.
Did we not have fun at grad night at Disney World? Oh my God.
Girl, hey, listen. I don't know if y'all remember, but them shoes beat me down like Debo, honey.
I think everybody's shoes
I had to have on
did.
some heels. Y'all had to carry me. Y'all remember that?
What I remember about grad night was the bus ride up there, and Michael Williams and some other people had a chest full of soaked fruit that was soaked in alcohol. And that's what I remember.
I do not remember that.
Yes.
That's what I remember. I was sort of like the school monitor. I almost told on them. You know, I wanted to sing "Take Pride in Yourself."
Oh my gosh.
And even your family.
No mail.
Florida, and went to school in the 90s, early 90s. We had a group, Just Say No to Drugs group called Pride.
Yes.
Pride, yes.
And get permission to leave classes. Now,
yes.
I think that was it.
Pride. They just got in Pride to go on trips because I don't think anybody kept their word except maybe me.
Okay, that's it. You are our beacon, so we live cleanly, vicariously through you, honey. Because
well, Greer, what about you, girl? When you were entering that ship, or just like when we finally started setting sail, what was going on in your mind in our spring break senior year?
Well, I was kind of scared, getting on that ship because I knew I couldn't swim. So
me neither, sister. Don't feel bad.
I was scared, getting on there, and I just wanted to make sure, I was going to be safe and everybody was going to be safe. And I was ready because I remember them saying that if you're 18, you can get a drink. And I was so excited. And I remember me and Sonja, I don't even think we really checked in our room. Like, we just took off and got a drink.
Yeah.
All you had to do was bust out that credit card, aka the driver's license.
We were so excited because we were like, we 18, now we're going to get us a drink. And we were so excited to get that drink. So I was scared to get on the ship. But once I got on and was like, okay, I'm safe, me and Sonja said, girl, let's go get a drink. We're 18.
Well, let me tell you guys what I remember, more so than probably what I was thinking about getting on the ship, was, you remember we had all those, drills before the ship leaves, and then we go in the water. And I can't remember her name, but our vice principal was on the ship with his daughter in our class, and they had this meeting with us in the auditorium, and they were like, although when we get to international waters, 18-year-olds can drink, against our rules for anyone to drink if they're here on this high school trip. And I just remember thinking, like, man, the assistant principal was on the ship with us. Like, his daughter was like the one to lead everybody to the bar. She was like, by the time that meeting was over, everybody went to the bar. I even went to the bar. I didn't drink anything, but I was like, I'm going to the bar just to show that I can because I'm 18 and you got to prove that I drank something. That was hilarious to me.
Yeah, I felt sorry for them because we did not listen.
I mean, boldly didn't listen.
We're living our best life.
Why do seniors want to go on a cruise anyway for that purpose? So
to have fun.
Yeah.
That's why they can't even.
Freedom.
That's why they
Yeah.
can't officially have any school-sponsored cruises anymore for senior trips. They got to
I
do that
know.
independently
Oh, they
because
don't.
But we didn't do it
Don't
now.
blame it on us.
Casilda
We didn't do
didn't
that.
stop it.
We
it
didn't do
wasn't
that.
us. We didn't have anybody go that crazy.
No.
Listen. No. We
And I
just
think the
partied
people
like
that
rock
got
stars.
arrested, they were older than us and they wasn't in the class of 92.
Yeah.
No, we
It
didn't
was
run
not us.
Yeah.
But we did have. Do y'all remember what our class song unofficially was?
It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
Yes.
What was number 2 most voted song when they voted? Do y'all remember?
Oh, I did.
I don't remember.
What was it?
I got friends in low places.
I'm glad we didn't do it.
Beer chases my blues away. So I was like, that was our class. Like, I'm glad they came up in the rear, but we were special. So
yes, of course.
We were. Yeah, we were.
So, you know what? I keep trying to call. I'm gonna call Sonja. I'm gonna put her on blast right now because I don't know.
For real. Tell her don't do
it.
us.
Blast right now.
And the rest of the Gucci Fly girls, where they at, honey? Okay. Y'all remember that?
No, what was Gucci Fly?
Oh my God.
Gucci Fly girls, honey, our clique. That's our clique. Gucci Fly girls. Daisha, Kiwanis, Greer, Gigi.
Yep.
Sometimes Gina wish she wanted to play with us. But yeah, we call the Gucci Fly girls.
Sometimes
all through high school. Gucci.
Gina Scott.
Lil Gina.
Scott.
Gina Scott.
You remember Lil Gina?
Oh, yes. Okay, so what was the Gucci Fly girls? Is that like the Flossy Posse?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. You got it. Hit it right on the head. The baddest of the baddest.
So was a Gucci Fly girl a secret organization? Because I don't remember y'all calling each other Gucci Fly girls.
That was it. It was like on the deal. But we always knew that's why we was looking good every time we went somewhere because, we had to represent Gucci Fly girls.
And we had little nicknames too.
Okay.
Yes, like Lil King. She need to be up on here today.
Okay. What was the nickname? Gigi, what was your Gucci Fly girl nickname?
What was my name? Was it Juice Baby?
Yep.
I think so. I'm trying to remember.
I think so.
I think it is Juice Baby.
What about you, Cassie?
Sasha Fierce, honey. I was Sasha before Beyonce was Sasha.
Are you serious? So you were Sasha?
Yes. Yes.
Greer?
Baby G.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now, I wasn't going to go to this question first.
Regina was short. Shortcake question.
Okay, what was I want to say, LaDaisha, I'm sorry you weren't in the picture, so I didn't ask you to come on. But talking to Kiwanis, and now Cassie just gave you a shout out. You should be here amongst. Actually, you should be replacing me because when I look at that picture, I'm like, how did I end up in that picture?
Listen, because we needed Jesus. That's why.
I wasn't Gucci nothing. I was so not in the group that I didn't know there was a group called Gucci something.
Listen, you was our angel on the shoulder, unspoken, because whenever we go to something like, what will Hope do? Not that. Okay.
That's funny. I got so many confessions on that senior trip. People drunk, like, I love God too. And I'm like, really? Or, people just, spiritual when they get drunk. I thought my ministry was blossoming right there on that cruise ship. So let me get down to it. I'm going to ask some of these questions out of the order I sent you guys. And I'm going to still be calling Sonja. I hope it's not an emergency because the girl even got her hair done. Okay? She was sitting
Sonja?
Yeah, she got her hair done. I was like, what? Okay, so I was wondering, and I'm going to start backwards. I called you guys Black Girl Magic. See, if I would have known y'all were called Gucci, I could have used that. But I shared with the audience before bringing you guys on that I just thought you all were just so beautiful and sassy. And when I look at that picture, that's like a moment in time that I'm like, I felt like I belonged a little bit. Because most of the time in high school, I never felt like I didn't belong. I was like, okay, yeah, but enough about me. When you hear that comment, Black Girl Magic, which is so popular now for people to say, I just wanted to know, what do you think of Black Girl Magic? Or what do you think that means? What you hear Black girl magic?
I think of being a queen.
Yes, all right.
Oh,
Being a queen. Put your crown on.
Yes. and I feel that the reason why they go hard with the Black girl magic is because they need to build the Black woman up. Because they're torn down so much and they're looked down upon. So I feel that Black girl magic really, really builds that Black woman up. You know, like, I got Black girl magic. I am somebody, you know. So, you know, being the queen that I am, because we always looked upon because of the color of our skin. And so that Black girl magic just sums it up. Even in the entertainment world, people have to be a certain color, because I look at a lot of them when they give their life stories, and they have to be a certain color to get a certain role when they're going out for, you know, a TV show or a commercial, whatever they're trying to do, you know, in the acting field. And it's like their skin color have to be a certain color. So, and I think, you know, like, people was bleaching themselves up until this day and time. You know, you have a lot of people trying to lighten their skin, trying to be somebody that they're not, and just accepting themselves. So I think that Black girl magic really builds up that character.
All right.
Yeah, I like that. That was a good answer.
Yes.
What you said? What you said, girl? That's really.
Yes.
You know what? This is. You know, I told y'all to introduce yourselves because I was like, let me not put out there anything about you that you don't want to put out for yourself. But I'm sorry, I have to say, this is that First Lady Fudge coming here. You know, I didn't know the First Lady Fudge in high school. And so,
no, me either, girl.
But where you always were, to me, a super smart, but just so outgoing person. And I just loved your energy. One of my best memories of you was at a Pride convention. Yes, that anti-say no to drugs convention. And we were dancing with all these people from all over the state of Florida, some people from the Caribbean, and some guy started dancing like close to you. You like, you too pretty. I don't want to dance with you. I'm the pretty one. And I was just like,
I can hear her saying that.
like, no, I can't dance with you. You too pretty because I'm the pretty one. I was like, you said I need to be the pretty one in the couple. And I was like, Greer is off the chain.
Yeah,
like,
you ain't have nobody prettier than you are.
No, not even on the doo-doo brown. All right. So let me ask you then. So we're talking about queenship. We recognize that Black women, sometimes Black women only of a certain hue, are celebrated even now. Even now. But back in the late 80s, early 90s, when we were in high school, there was, even in my opinion, even greater hindrance, because that was during the I'll Be Sure time, where even like the light skinned boys would be like the top thing. And of course, if you had long curly hair or light skin or lighter skin, you were considered pretty. But I wish we had Black girl magic, or that term, back in high school, because I don't know. Did you guys feel affirmed in your beauty and worthiness as Black girls when you were in high school? Gigi?
I think I did. I got it at home. So, you know, that was all I really needed. And I, you know, was part of the popular crowd in high school, honor club,
yes.
stuff. So, yeah.
I love that. So you said you got it at home, and she was one of the popular girls. I think everybody could attribute, like, Gigi was cute and smart. So she had the best. Look at those dimples even now. It's like I want to rip them off your face.
She's so gorgeous.
You never know what to do with them. No, that is true. How about you, Greer? Did you feel affirmed in your beauty and worthiness when you were in high school as a Black girl?
You know what? I really, and this is so funny, and I was just telling my daughter, because I had her to, you know, ask me some questions and everything. And it's funny because I really didn't care. You know, like I didn't really care about being the prettiest girl or being the populist girl. I really didn't care. All I like to do is have fun. And I never really cared about being the beautiful girl, because deep down inside, I already knew I was beautiful. So I really didn't need anyone else to tell me that. So
where did you get that
I
from?
never thought about that.
Where do you think you got your affirmation from? Or is just in your mind, it was always so there it was? Like, who affirmed you in that way?
My family. And then myself, they always say, oh, you're so pretty. But like I say, I never, ever, I had 4 brothers, so it's not like someone walked around the house with makeup on. And they were way older than I am. So I'm the pretty little girl left in the house, but I never really tried to dress up, put on makeup to make myself look pretty. I really didn't care. Nobody never called me ugly. And if they did, I probably would have laughed.
Now I do, because Greer also went to the church that my father pastored. And I remember you specifically saying, you're pretty. Like, I know I'm beautiful. I have no doubt that you never once probably cared. And Casilda's back on here, honey. We're talking about it's okay.
Thank you.
This is one of those shows where you can come in, come out, do what you do. Can you hear me?
I think her service went out.
Okay. Well, Cassie, if you can hear us, I need you maybe to log back out and log back in to see if we can clear up this connection. Okay? Well, the reason why I was asking about that, because I do find that supposedly during that time, in the research I did, it said that Black teen girls had and tested higher on self-esteem than any other demographic of girls in the early 90s. And I was like, I wonder why that was, because it wasn't like there was this Black girl magic movement, but that I believe, or at least the research was suggesting, and I'm going to make sure I keep doing it. I believe that the research was suggesting that, first of all, that in the Black community, our bodies were more celebrated. Like, as far as the Black community did not look down upon someone who got a little meat on their bones, which I appreciate. And also that the community, the affirmation often for Black girls came from their families. They didn't go into the world necessarily expecting the world to clap and celebrate. So it's actually because of that presumption or that desire not to be determined by the world, our value, that actually it ended up giving us often a higher self-esteem, which I thought was interesting. I was like, because when I was thinking about Black girl magic and saying, I wish I would have experienced that type of, celebration, was that it wasn't so much that anyone called me ugly, and I'm sure people did, but it was more so like there was nothing I remember outside of the Miss Lady pageant that my mom founded and stuff like that ever sort of celebrated Black girls publicly. And we had the Junior Miss pageant and Black girls could be a part of that. But even culturally, the tights we wore for the physical fitness part, it was light-skinned tights. It was sort of patterned after the Barbie, Miss America. Even the Little Women, even though Black girls could be a part of Little Women, there were so many things that were culturally not sensitive to what Black girls need. Like, for instance, we went on that hayride and they were throwing garlic balloons full of water at all of us. Who's the one who got to get up in the morning and figure out what to do with their hair? The Black girls.
Yes.
So it was those things are oh, we get a trip. Oh, we get to go to the beach. Not that Black girls don't want to go to the beach, but who's trying to go to the beach? The white girls are tan. And maybe I noticed a disparity or the idea that wow, I didn't have this until I went to a HBCU where things were catered towards Black women and you would go down, for Market Friday, and there's black hair care products. Gigi went to FAMU, probably the same way, like a whole culture that's focused on things that benefit you. Then I was like, you know what? They didn't celebrate us like we should have been celebrated. But I get what you're saying. I didn't have an expectation for them, so I wasn't walking around sad. But even when it came to like Black people in general, I just didn't feel, and maybe because out of all of us, I'm the darkest, that I definitely didn't feel a public affirmation about chocolate girls. Really, chocolate girls is like, I was like, I got to be smart because that's what I have going for me. Like that's the only, or that's one of the few things I have going for me. I have to be, or I'm gonna try to be the smartest person in the room because that's what's going for me. I'll never be light skinned, not that I wanted to be, but I'll never be light skinned, or I'll never be in the category of the dimpled one, Gigi, like the gorgeous one. But I gotta be smart.
Well, I felt that pressure to be smart too.
I know you did. I know you did. See, you were unfair. I thought you had it. You were like, I was like, God, you gave her brains and beauty. That is not fair.
Stop. The package.
Got the whole package. So did we all grow up, born and raised in Perry?
Yep.
I was born in Miami. My mom moved back, I think, in 78.
Wow. Okay, so you had a few years outside of Perry. And so I wanted to ask, what was it like when I asked the question, what was it like growing up a Black girl in Perry, Florida? What comes to mind, Gigi?
I think back then I didn't see like any differences as far as like I had a lot of white friends, and it was just normal to me at home. Like on the weekends and stuff, I would be with my Black friends because they lived to me. But then during the week when I would go back to school, I would be with my white friends. But looking back now, and when I go home, I feel like it's so different as far as racially. Like I'll go to a restaurant or something, and I'll just looking at the demographics in the restaurant, and I'm just like, wow, I just didn't see it growing up.
What do you mean?
Mm-hmm.
What do you see at the restaurant that you didn't see growing
There's
up?
this restaurant that my mom likes to go to, and I don't even know the name of it, but we'll be the only Black people in there. And it's just, I guess maybe living in Atlanta when there's so many Black people around, it just feels so different now. And also,
so Perry feels wider.
Yeah, it
feels wider.
It does.
Oh man, that's interesting. How about you, Greer? How was it, or growing up as a Black girl in Perry?
Well, like Gigi said, I didn't really notice it because, like she said, we'll be around white girls at school and you talk with them because they were your classmate and they like you, you like them. And to me, it just was different. I guess we didn't really see it, never paid attention to it because we were strong, we knew where we come from. So, and like she said, we hung out together. So we really pretty much didn't care about, those couple hours at school anyway, and then being around them because we still chilled at lunchtime, we still hung out together. So it's like they were visible. I mean, we really didn't see all that I see now. But it's just different now. Like she said, my eyes are open more now. And I think like the younger generation now is seeing it worse than what we experienced.
Wow. When you say worse, what do you mean by that?
Because look at the world now. I mean, it's like now we see who was wearing those white sheets. I mean, it's more visible now. Everybody can see the racial that's going on in the world today where we really didn't experience it when, like I say, when I was in school. So now, even when I was in school, I was called the N-word in class by one of our classmates, and I'll never forget that. I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say online.
Walter Horn called me a nigger in 8th grade. Walter Horn. I saw him in church.
I'll let you know though. But
with his wife and his daughter, and I just wanted to so bad be like, you remember when you called me nigga and we started fighting in junior high?
Yes. But it was a guy that took it upon himself. One of our classmates, a black guy, he got him good. And but right now the kids like they see it, and they can tell the difference because I even had them, say things to me about it, and they can see it where we didn't experience that. We never said, oh, they're treated different from us. And I think maybe it was the teachers we had. I don't know, but like I say, we really didn't pay attention to them, the difference. I just hung out with my girls and kept it moving.
Well, I think that's so interesting that you say that, because now, 3 years ago, I moved back home to help out with my parents after being in Chocolate City, Atlanta for so long.
Yes.
And there's a couple of things I noticed that was very different. There were a lot of let's see, white people who look like they love outdoor fishing and agriculture, who had these mocha looking grandchildren in their arms and going through. I'm like, and then it's like, oh my goodness, there's so many mixed little babies. There's a lot of openly interracial couples going on. And I don't remember that growing up, even though in high school I knew some black guys who were secretly messing with some white girls. I didn't know anything on the reverse, but I'm sure it happened as well, but I didn't know about it as much. And I was like, I wonder if this is causing people to be more conscientious. But then, and it may not be true. So I'm not trying to get into stereotypes, but what I have encountered is three situations where the white wife or mother of the mixed kid has no black friends outside of her husband boyfriend. And I can tell because the child's hair.
Yes.
I'm not gonna say it's not done, but you can tell that child is washing their hair every day. And I was like, "Ooh, baby, don't do that. Black girls don't do that." And I'm like, if they had black girlfriends, they would certainly say, "Hey, girl, let me teach you how to do this." And then to talk to some of them, I was like, "Man, you're the third biracial child," or maybe I've talked to the mother who really doesn't like. So the idea of them dating a black man doesn't mean necessarily that they're more down with the brown or the people or black experience. It just may be that they were attracted to someone of a different race. And I was like, man, that's sort of deep. But that's for a whole nother show. But that's interesting for what you're saying. I want to give a shout out because you got all these shout outs. Jarayla Fudge and Quintez Fudge. Who are they?
Those are my kids.
Those are your kids?
My young adults.
Oh my gosh, they're loving you. And then Mr. Ray. Yes, all the parents.
Hey, Ray.
Oh.
And not to talk too much, Greer, you and I have opposite experiences because I feel like I saw a lot of racism growing up.
Really?
It would probably surprise people because according to what Kiwanis called me.
What'd she call you?
Oh my God.
I have to play it.
Oh my God.
I was just I felt very aware at a young age that I was treated differently.
I remember you getting into it with Mr. Oliver. Was that his name?
McLaughlin.
Mr. McLaughlin, yes. In our government class or something, you were talking about oppression or something. I remember y'all used to go at it all the time.
Everybody else would be asleep in the class or hope set up so we can get out. And he would say things like Martin Luther King was a communist. The KKK helped rebuild the country. And I'm like, are y'all hearing this? And what's funny, before I graduated high school, actually, he and I became a little bit close because I started this Black awareness class or Black awareness group and this Black history class. And I couldn't get, I'm not saying the Black faculty didn't want to be my sponsor, but for whatever reason, schedule or whatever, I couldn't get them. So guess who was my sponsor? Mr. KKK Rebuild the South. And before it was all over, he was like, you know what? I think of you like a daughter. So,
Wow.
because one of the reasons I became a history major at Spelman was because of him. Because I was like, whoever tells the history controls the narrative. And
Yes.
he forever changed my life. And he also had said in class, when everybody else was falling asleep and I was just arguing with him, he said, an attitude like yours, you will not go far in life.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Now, he never apologized for that statement, but I think his actions showed that he evolved past that. Anyway, okay, so yeah, so I think that's really interesting, Greer, but I love it. I love it, love it. And also, I think I had a different type of support. Y'all already heard me say I wasn't a part of the Gucci girls, but I did have Black friends that I hung out with. So, but you know, sometimes I felt I was being fight the power. On the outside, it may not look like it because some people thought I was like a white girl, which I think is hilarious. But
Yeah.
so you guys, at this time, we're gonna bring on Kiwanis, and I'm gonna task Gigi. Could you call your girl Sonja? I'm gonna move to see what's going on, and I'll bring you guys back. Oh, Greer, call Cassie and find out how she's doing, and bring her back. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
while they doing that, I'm gonna bring on yes, my girl, Miss Kiwanis, because she has something to share and it was so funny to me, and I hope I'm able to get this correct because no, because the girl had me dying. So if you're from Taylor County and you're watching, and you are a person of color, or maybe you're white, tell me what you thought about the issues of race growing up, or how was it for you? Was it a positive thing? Was it both? Was it like, were you one of those people where you're like, oh, I felt like there was, really no racial issues, not like they have today, or maybe the total opposite? I want you to share. Okay, get into this conversation and let me see. I thank you for coming on. I know you just got off of work and you're coming in, and I just really, really appreciate you being a good sport. Can you believe, like, we graduated 29 years ago, over 29 years?
I cannot.
We're coming up to our 30th next year.
Next year make 30?
Next year makes 30.
Oh, wow. Oh, it don't even sound like it's been that long.
I was just like, wow. I remember my mom going to her, her 30th reunion. So, that picture of us on the senior cruise, we went to the Bahamas. That was like literally a month and a half or weeks away from our graduation. And one great thing about living in Perry, for those who are not from Perry watching, is that it's not unusual to go to school with a majority of your classmates since kindergarten. So we have pictures, class pictures, as we've grown up, And
I realized the certain steps I needed to take to better myself for him, as far as getting a job with benefits and things of that nature.
You know what? I did not know that. And I didn't know. Would have imagined. What things? Okay, you said you were on this side of law. You would have never guessed. So I just wonder, like, even if it was just, I'm just getting out of school, I don't care what I do after. What were you thinking? And I keep going back to that spring break cruise, because to me that was like, after that cruise, I didn't care about nothing else. Like, just hurry up and let's get out of here.
That's it.
And what did you plan to be doing that fall? Do you remember?
That actually, I planned on actually leaving Perry. My plans was not to even be here in Taylor County. Yes, I really didn't want to. I really didn't want to stay here. I really didn't. But by that fall, I think all my plans just completely changed. Because right after I graduated from high school, I guess I should say, when I turned 18, I had my son when I turned 19. So that just changed my whole course of everything.
You know what? I did not know that. And I mean, I didn't know how old you were when you had your first son, but what was amazing to me, our class, it was not unusual for people to be getting married, having babies, like within the first few years of graduation. I was like, people are getting, we had one classmate celebrating a divorce on our senior trip. I don't know if you remember her.
I don't remember that.
I think her name was Lee. Lord, I'm probably saying the wrong person's name, but there was someone in our class who got married in high school, and on our senior trip, they were celebrating their divorce. So I know our class was a little mature. Like, we had a lot of real life stuff happening. And even people would think, I don't know, like we looked older. I don't know. Must have been something in the water. So you end up having your son at 19, and that just changed your world.
That changed everything. It did.
So tell me, what were one of the best things about having a child, especially at 19?
One of the best things about having a child at 19, well, I'm not gonna say, I think I was mature for my age at 19, but I think having a son at 19, it made me more responsible, because that's when I realized, after I had him, that's when I realized the certain steps I needed to take to better myself for him, as far as getting a job with benefits and things of that nature. So that's why I say it just changed completely. Things that I wouldn't have, I think if I would have left and went to college, moved from Taylor County, I probably wouldn't even thought about that age, getting a job with security, But I'm glad things did happen the way it did. I really am.
You're not the first to tell me that. Girl, I'm so laughing because the video was playing and I thought it was playing on screen, but you're just sitting there. Oh my gosh. Were you able to hear the rest of that? That is so hilarious. I'm firing the production team.
I didn't hear it.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Did anybody put in the chat if anybody heard the interview with Kiwanis? That is hilarious.
I heard some of it. Is she gone?
I must have pressed the wrong button somewhere, but I asked her, and I hope that this was caught for the audience members. Y'all tell me if y'all heard Kiwanis share. She was sharing that after graduation, she had wanted to leave Perry, and her life was forever changed when she had a son at 19, but actually changed for the better because it made her focus on getting like a stable job, with benefits, and it helped her focus. So it was like a blessing in disguise. And I just wanted to ask you guys, like, at the time of graduation, what were you hoping to do after graduation? And then what was the reality of what you ended up doing? And if it matched up, at least immediately after, a year or two after graduation.
I was always into like math and science. And I don't know if a lot of people don't know this when I talk about it now, but we had a programming team at the high school, and we would travel throughout the state to compete. It's like the hackathons that they have now. And so I knew then that I wanted to be in IT or do some coding or something. So that's what I went to school for. And that's what I'm still doing now.
Wow. That's awesome. How about you?
Well, I always wanted to be a nurse, but we moved to Tallahassee and things changed, and I come back, as like Kiwanis said, had a baby at 19. So my life had to change a little. So I went to school for CNA. So that means Certified Nursing Assistant. And after that, I'll say, I'm trying to think, probably 4 years later, I end up getting married. And the next year I had my second child. So I worked at the nursing home. And in 2009, I left. And I'm trying to think, 2010 is when I started working with the school district. But in between the nursing home and the hospital, which I really love it. I mean, I wouldn't take that back for nothing in the world. But, my plans are not God plans. So
I know.
I'm not mad.
Even if you're doing what you plan on doing, I'm sure still life looked a little different. I plan on going to Spelman and going to law school, but I ended up taking off some time before I went to law school. And even the kind of law I'm practicing now is not really, I don't know what I imagined as a kid, but it all looks really different. And I have a few more questions. I know Greer may have to leave me soon because she's going to Bible study. I'm supposed to be going to Bible study too. And I really wanted to get Cassie back on, and Sonja, I really don't know what happened. Maybe y'all could text me in the private chat if you talk to her. But
I didn't.
I couldn't reach Sonja either.
Okay, well then it's us three is enough. I thank you guys for being on. But I was wondering, what from high school was your biggest success or like happy situation that happened in your 4 years at Taylor County High School?
Oh my gosh.
Graduated.
Right.
What'd you say?
Graduated from high school.
Graduation. Oh my God. I was so excited about graduation. I was putting my hair. It didn't matter what else was happening. I'm like, I'm about to leave up out of this place. I was so thrilled.
That's the best thing that ever came out of those 4 years. And of course, being in the band and taking those band trips, I mean, that was great also. But like, I just really love band and just having fun, hanging out with the girls. And like I say, the best thing was making sure I graduated from high school. And that was the
band.
Yeah, clarinet.
I forgot too.
Yeah, Hope played the saxophone.
I sure did.
I dropped out of band in 7th grade.
That's when you start. How about you?
Yes.
What is like what are your success or happy situations when you think of high school?
I think too, just graduating, just getting out of there.
Amen.
Man, what was my drive? I was just like, I gotta get away. I gotta graduate. And my dad was like on me, success, you gotta be the best, so I was just ready to graduate.
So your dad was on you. That's so interesting because you have such a cool demeanor. And I'm like, Gigi ain't ever fazed by nothing.
Oh my gosh.
You were faking it.
Yes.
But it wasn't you were lazy or something. You just didn't show. And I don't know. I look back at my high school years and I felt so tightly wound. I didn't even know how tightly wound I was until I went to college. College, in some aspects, was much less stressful than high school was because
you were always so serious in high school.
Yes. I remember we had Miss Hughes, Janice Hughes, in her economics class. And I said, I hope you got to be Oprah. We got to have a talk show.
Whoa, really?
You remember that?
Come on, speak it into existence.
Oh my God.
I was so terribly wrong. I was concerned about who had a GPA higher than mine. I wanted to be valedictorian. Like I said, I was so invested in trying to be smart because I won't say I never thought I thought I was okay looking, but I didn't necessarily feel beautiful or all these other things that I would see. I didn't necessarily want marriage or kids. I was just like, I gotta be smart because nobody is gonna take care of me or all that kind of stuff. And I think I was so invested in that as like my biggest identity that it was just really, I was just super, super stressed out all the time in a way that, yeah, that's probably one of my biggest regrets. Even though I enjoyed high school, and I would say maybe one of the happier situations. And I'll do this because awards come a dime a dozen sometimes. But I did love those summer programs where a lot of us would go to Florida State. I think I did it 3 summers between junior high and high school, at least 2 summers. I escaped without getting pregnant, and
Amen.
we would go up there for weeks. and we got to hang out with college students and with other Black high school kids from across the state. And I feel like Perry was always competing like with the kids from Miami, and here's this like, you know, the people from the bottom and Perry, Florida, and I'm like, we just as smart, we cuter. Like it gave me a sense of like, yeah, we may be from a small town, but our minds are not small. And y'all trying to get with us. Y'all trying to hang with us. So I like those summers. I got to also sort of become someone else because I was hanging out.
Okay.
And one thing I would do, especially depending on where we were, I would pretend like I had a Jamaican accent.
Really? Let me hear it.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I was hanging out with a lot of Caribbean kids from Miami, and I just felt like because they didn't know me as a preacher's kid or the what kid, and everybody was smart, right? So I just felt like I could put on a different persona, and I would have fun. Yeah.
I don't even remember you being in the summer program, but I remember like all the people from the bottom and all that. I don't remember you being there.
I was I was there. I was definitely there because one of the hoes who was my roommate would steal my clothes when I would go home on the weekend. I would come back and it would smell like Gina Tay, my brand new outfit. I'm like,
oh wow.
Oh, I didn't wear your clothes. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, so what about regrets? Or what do you don't have to be your biggest regret. Any regrets or like the most challenging thing about high school or something, a mistake or anything like that in high school, what would be? While y'all thinking, I'll mention I remember running for student council president my junior year. In junior high, I was student body president. I was like, I'm about to be student council president. And I was going against Jessica Lilliot. And she was giving out lifesavers. And this was such a great lesson for me. During my speech at the end, I had friends throw out. No, she was giving out dum-dums, the cheap lollipops, dum-dums. And so we were saying hope is a lifesaver, not a dum-dum. And we were throwing out lifesavers. Well, I mean, for those of you guys, Jessica was like the cute homecoming queen, blonde, really sweet and smart. Certain people started like, oh, I can't believe she said that about Jessica. They were like, Hope said, hope is a lifesaver, not a dumb blonde.
No.
And so there were people who said, I was going to vote for you, but you insulted Jessica. And I was like, I insulted her.
They heard what they wanted to hear.
I was like, they were mad that even if I called her a dumb blonde, it was in some people's mind that I was being racist. Yes. And I was like, if you know me, you know I'm the least racist Negro up in this school, but so I did not win. I did not win. I ended up being on the student council as a general rep. Anyway, that was my biggest regret.
You were an officer all 4 years.
All 4 years. I should have won.
Oh no.
That was all 4 years.
But the white folks said that I called her a dumb blonde, and they won't show me my uppity self. What I ain't gonna do. But I didn't call her a dumb blonde.
Oh.
So Gigi.
It's okay.
I wish I had maybe done some athletics or something in school.
Really?
Running in college, and I was like, man, I can really run. I wish I had applied myself in high school, but I was just like not trying to sweat or anything. I was just trying to be cute or whatever. But yeah, I wish I applied myself athletically.
Do you think because you were the youngest of your siblings and that you sort of was like real chill about it, or?
Probably, yes.
Yeah, you have pretty cool older siblings, so I could see that. What about you, Greer?
I really don't. I mean,
I think that's
probably
awesome.
I believe like when I left Perry my sophomore year, I wish I would have never came back.
Sophomore year in high school, you wish you would never come back?
I left and went to Dillard High School in Fort Lauderdale for like probably 6 weeks or so. And then
you being gone.
that was my sophomore year at the beginning. And then I left and went to Fort Hood, Texas. And I did not want to leave, and I wish I could have stayed there with my brother, and my life would have been just probably different for high school. I would have came back to Perry eventually, but
What do you think would have happened?
I would have went to Germany. I was trying to go to Germany.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and that is like something that I really wanted to do, and I wish I would have done it, but my mom didn't want it to happen. And my brother had already said, "Oh, you can go, Mom, she can go." And she was like, "No, let's go back to Perry."
Oh, wow.
So, but it was like I say, it's God's plan, not mine. Yeah.
Wow. I think that's really cool because you never really know what people. I don't know. It's like maybe high school is such a perfect time of being so self-absorbed about what you want to do. I had no idea that was something that you were even interested in. Not that you would actually confide in me anyway. I wanted to ask you guys. I want to ask you this question, and it'll probably be one of the next to last questions I ask, because I do want to ask about the 30th reunion, and I'm looking at the time, and I promise, Greer, if you need to go ahead and go, but I will try to end this before you have to leave out. But I have just one question,
I'm fine.
and
Go ahead.
I'm going to ask Kiwanis, but I'm going to keep y'all on, okay?
Okay.
And in some of it is sort of like so self-centered. But it's been really funny during all of my reunions. I've met with some friends, some old friends of mine who I worked in ministry with, and now they're living out loud, gay and proud. So I asked them sort of questions like, "Did I ever offend you?" Or then I met up with some clients I represented who went to prison. And after they got out, they called me. One went to church with me some years ago. The other one just got out after 10 years a few months ago. And so we got together. So I had to ask them, what did you think about me? Especially because both of these characters, I was their public defender. So they didn't get to choose me, right? And so it was just funny to hear what they thought. And then last week, I connected with my first love, my worst date, and my sweetest taboo relationship. And I asked them, so what attracted you to me? And why do we not work out? And what's something I can learn about myself? Because sometimes you think as a person that you know how you've grown, or or you have a sense of well, this is what I was in high school, and this is what I was in college, this is what I was in my late 20s and 30s. Just like I was saying, I never thought of you as rebellious and loose. I just knew not to mess with you. She may look cute, but she's dangerous. But I was just wondering, and I won't be offended at all. What? Then we definitely gonna make this fast.
We good. I'm good.
What? And I'll just say by senior year, because you and I at least have known each other for years, in the sense of in Perry, Florida, the Black community, people go to church, or her dad, he's on the board, and we had to be around each other at times, regardless of what we chose, just because that's what the community was. And I was just wondering, by senior year, what if anything did you think about me?
Oh,
the truth.
Now I'm gonna tell the truth, and I don't want nobody to be offended. I mean, nobody. You talked to a select few of Blacks. You did. You talked to Gigi. You and Gigi, y'all talked. I guess did you and Tabora?
Yeah.
You went to Bora. But I just always thought, he was black, but you was another white girl, you know. That's what I always thought.
I would have known you were gonna say that.
We had the Miss Lady pageant, and you did the poem. I said, look at her doing this white girl shit. That's what I thought to myself.
I think it's so funny. I'm like, Midnight Black. Such a white girl. I'm like, do y'all see my Midnight Blackness? They're like, yeah, that's what we don't understand. That is hilarious. Okay.
But other than that, I knew you were a good person. I knew that. But that's, if you ask me what I thought, that's what I thought.
Isn't that disrespectful? That's disrespectful, but it was funny as all get out. I was like, what? I didn't know what she was going to say. And I don't even know why that surprised me. The more she talked, the more I was like, oh, yeah. So I want to ask you guys, and this is a self-absorbed question, but I'm going to ask you, I said this is the next to the last question, but it's going to have a part B. Honestly, and I think it's interesting that Greer and Gigi are the ones left standing today. Thank you for coming on. What I'm going to say by my senior year, did you guys think of me? If you thought of me at all, like what?
Of course. Hope, I thought of you.
I'm trying to phrase it in the right way, but okay, there it is.
Hope, we went to church together.
I know, but
you are my brother's first cousin. I mean, like you. I thought a lot of you, like family, So I mean,
like family?
Yes, always. Yes.
I didn't know.
Yes. You were there when I received the gift of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
But you beautiful. I mean, hey, we don't, like I said before, it didn't matter our skin tones, we're beautiful. And that's why we needed that black girl magic to build us up. But we all are beautiful. You are beautiful, smart. And I always thought, like, oh, I love Hope. That's my girl. That's my family. So, I mean, if somebody messed with you, I was going to have your back, girl.
That is so sweet. That is so sweet. Y'all, I didn't pay her to say that. I literally was like, I just wondered. Because sometimes I have memories and someone's like, Hope, remember you did this? And I'm like, I did. What about you, Gigi? Now, Gigi was my honors program AP chick. It was like often me,
yeah,
and Michael Williams. Michael, Gigi, and me at the end of the day. Even though actually all of the ladies on that picture I've been in classes with, and depending on what they wanted to do at the moment. But Gigi, what about you? By senior year,
you were like very intimidating. Like you had it. Yes, you had it all together. The smartest, the most driven. Were you voted most likely to succeed?
No, I didn't get any superlative.
I didn't get any of those either. But you got a full ride to Spelman. I wanted to go to Spelman too. I got accepted, but I did not get a scholarship. And I was just like, oh, I won't be at Spelman with Hope.
And they are ridiculous. I was like, it was meant for you to go to FAMU, but I was disappointed. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a homegirl, but intimidating. Okay.
You were like super Christian. Like you were the first person that introduced me to Christian rap. I don't know if you even remember that. You had a slumber party.
Sounds like me.
Yeah, you had a slumber party and you turned this music on and we hear the beat and we're just like, what is this? And the chorus started coming. We're like, what?
Thank you for coming to my slumber party. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I wanted to tell you ladies what I thought of you. I've sort of already mentioned it. But outside of like the exterior, like, oh, Greer was funny and Gigi's cute, smart. Like, I thought that Greer was super loyal. She was loyal to the bone. And I saw you get out of situations that would possibly turn into a fight or even get ugly, and you would laugh your way out of it. Like, girl, I ain't no, come on, you start dancing on somebody. I'm like, that wasn't supposed to happen. And I was just like, and at the same time, you would jump into other situations that had nothing to do with you. And I'm like, she's so loyal. I would be like, listen, you brought yourself in, you'll take yourself out. So I thought of you like it's very loyal. Like, you were loyal to Christian Tabernacle. You were loyal to my dad. You would, dad could be tripping. You like, you need to listen to Pastor Dips. And I'm looking at you like, you do not even care. You just trying to like give brownie points,
I love my pastor.
I thought Gigi was so cool. I just wanted to be cool like Gigi. She was so cool. There was an incident that happened senior year, and I won't give details, but it was so like not her character. So I was worried that she was like underneath a bed somewhere, scared to death. And I looked at her coming back from school, like, "Are you okay?" You're like, "Yeah." And then I was like, well, what were you thinking?
Oh my God.
The person deserved it. And I was just like,
I said that.
You probably did, Gigi.
What you said because it would give too many details.
Oh my gosh.
But it was so cold-blooded. I was like,
oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
You cannot double cross that one. You may see the dimples, you hear the stem, you hear that technology, girl, smart and cute. But I was like,
that was so like character for me, and like
it was not your character, but what
biggest regret in life.
But here's the thing, and I only raised it to say this: it wasn't so much that it happened, because all of us have been places. I mean, I remember getting upset at an ex-boyfriend, and I cursed like I had won awards, and I looked back at myself like,
I hope jumps.
Oh my God.
And not only did I curse him out, I had my purse and I was slamming it against the car.
Oh, wow.
What's this in the car? Dashboard. All my stuff was popping out. We were supposed to be going to the movies. And after I did all that, I was putting my stuff in the purse like, okay, you're going to get tickets with me. And he was like, and I was like, I need to go get my hormones changed. But I mean, I was like, I don't know where that came from. So all of us can do stuff that's just totally out of character. But what I realized is that you have a clear sense of justice, and you felt whatever it was, you felt justified. And I really sort of, on low key admired it. Like, she could go sleuth. She could do corporate. Like, I was like,
that in me, but that situation, I just hate. It
was out of character. It was out of character. Like, I mean, I know I'm talking about profanity, and I'm talking too much. I gotta get to my last question. But it reminds me in high school when I like, there was a police officer going through one of the student government dances, and he kept putting the flashlights in all the black boys' faces. And I was just like, what is he doing? And he turned around and he was some distance from me. And I basically said, F you. He then proceeded to come and get in my face. The principal or vice principal came over like, what's going on? He's like, she cursed at me. And the principal didn't even ask me if I did it. He's like, oh, no. Who Demps would not do that? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, I mean, and he didn't even ask me, did I do it? And I was like, he's ridiculous. He's around here, typecast. I don't know what I said. I know I didn't say like racial profiling. I don't think that was a phrase that I would have used back then. And like, I called my dad. I had all this righteous indignation knowing that I had said exactly what he said. And but I just thought it was so funny that the principal didn't even ask me what I said. But I was so mad. Anyway, that was out of character too. But I did it. And I don't know that I've ever admitted it until this moment. And then my dad got me good because he's like, you got me out to a secular place, and that's where you are in the dark. And I was like, oh man, wow. But anyway, so 30th year is next year, 2022. What are you hoping, if we have a great big reunion weekend and you're able to attend, what are you hoping to see, or what are you hoping to find? What would you think, what would you look most forward to?
I would like to see how everybody look.
See if all the most beautiful people still beautiful.
I really want to see how everybody look. I really do. And see how they change. And maybe we can just spend quality time together to, talk about what's like we're doing now. And I'm excited. I never thought about 30 years, wow, I'm still back on the 25 years. I mean, 30 years. I mean, wow. We look amazing, ladies.
We do. Black don't crack as much. Yes. It does crack.
But not that much.
But not that much.
Yes.
Gigi, how about you?
I'm just looking forward to seeing everybody. I just see the handful of people, like all of us on the call, and I see Daisha and Gina sometimes, but outside of that, I haven't seen a lot of people since we graduated. So I just want to see everybody, see how everybody's doing.
I concur with both of y'all. I look forward to seeing how everyone is. Now that I live in Perry, I bump into more classmates from my year. And I don't know what's happening, but the class of 92 was ruling Perry. From Mark Wiggins over to taxes. It's always funny to see his face and his name on my taxes. Trey Howard, who looks just like his dad. Oh my God.
Yes.
His hair is bald. It's just really, really funny. Or seeing, just bumping into people. Like Christy Bethea, whose married name I don't know, but redhead, so shy in high school, but she's over all this stuff. And I'm like, class of 92 is running things in Perry. Maybe that's why I came back, because I need to run something. But
Amen.
I'm really proud of us. And then those who, we all got stuff, right? We all got stuff that could be better, things that we would regret in our older years, different advice. So I don't mean this in any way ugly at all. But then there's some people who are drastically different in a way that they may not be happy about. But I'm hoping that we do have a 30th reunion and that everybody bring their own magic, and that people are just real and don't feel like you have to put on listen, just want to see how you're doing.
Yes.
So I don't even, with my reunions at Spelman, I stopped asking people, what do you do for a living? People will tell you if it comes up. I'll say, how are you? What's going on with you? What's your passion about? Because everybody's passion is not their job. Everybody's passion is not their relationship. Right. Maybe it's something totally different. And I can't assume because I was in band with you or student council or whatever, that's what you're up to. And it gives everyone an opportunity to shine versus well, what do you do? Where did you go to college? And there's nothing wrong with those questions either. But I'm I really just want to know what's up with your life and how are you living it in a way that I can better know you now, 30 years later. So ladies, thank you so much. Oh man, there's so many other questions I had, but and I'm glad it was only 3 of us, because we probably got 2 questions to get all 6 at the same time.
Well, we can do a part 2.
We need to do a part 2 and bring Simon in. Yes. Okay, you hear that?
A part 2.
Sonja and Cassie. Okay, we're gonna need
Daisha.
Yeah, Daisha and LaGina.
Yes. Okay, LaDaisha and Gina, Gigi, I'm gonna put that's your task. You gotta let me know where they are, their information. We gotta do this. We gotta do a real Gucci. What y'all call yourself? Gucci girls. I was not popular enough to be in that group. But no, I would have just
But
tried
it's
to
okay.
I
It's
would have just tried to
okay.
get saved every weekend. That's all. I wasn't trying to pour holy oil on them. I don't know. But yeah, we have to do a part 2. But thank you so much. Do you have any closing words you want to say? Ooh, it's 6:58. I'm so sorry. Please tell your husband I apologize. I don't want you to get
I just thank you for this opportunity to get together. I really enjoyed it, and I love you guys. I'm always here. I'm always praying. And Gigi, we're coming. We're gonna come. I know we said we was coming.
Yeah, y'all been visiting me for the longest, but I won't take it personally.
We're gonna come, Gigi. Even if I have to do it by myself.
Y'all were supposed to come right before COVID hit, so
I know.
I'll give
y'all
y'all.
supposed to go to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Maybe Hope can give me a ride.
Or not, or dislike.
Okay. Well. Okay. What about you, Gigi? Any closing words?
No, I enjoyed it. I hate that it took us so long to get together like this.
Yes.
I see everybody individually, but it was really good coming together. I wish everybody could have been here. But I'm looking forward to a part 2.
Yes. And see, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't.
Wow. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. I was trying to let Kiwanis have the last word because she actually answered the last question I was going to ask you guys, but I'm going to save that for the next show. What advice would she give to her 18-year-old self? So I'm trying to find it. Here you go. But I know you guys may have to leave, so I don't want to like get off camera. I want to find it because it was really, really wise. And you guys, Kiwanis has so much to give, and if you haven't recognized it, I had to do that pre-recording of her because she's working. She claimed that she was wild in high school. I don't remember that.
Yes.
But I wouldn't have necessarily known either.
She was.
But now she works. I think she's a captain or a sergeant or something.
Yes, at the jail. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
So we can do that part 2 with her.
She can't be telling all the secrets about her being wild though, because we were all, where all the bodies are buried.
Yes.
No, I think it's funny. I think it's funny because I'm not. Okay, I got it. I have it now. I wish I could reclaim my innocent Pollyanna years because I look back at things and I was like, I so believed everything that I was saying. And I'm not saying I was wrong, but my heart was so pure and innocent. I'm like, what happened to that person? At 47, I'm like, wow, Hope. I remember one time crying because somebody in high school was pregnant. And I remember Gigi like, why are you crying? That is not your problem.
Are you serious? I was cold-blooded. Oh my God.
You were cool, girl. You were like, but I didn't think of it as cold. Well, yeah, cold-blooded, but like in that sleuthful kind of don't play.
I don't like that.
I'm sorry. Well, you know what? I recognize why you would say that because that's not really who you are. But like I said, I sort of like admired it because I was like, she may be right about that. Why am I tripping? But I was like, oh, I can't believe. Okay. Well,
Guess that's the Gemini in me.
But I was wondering, what would you tell your 18-year-old self now that you've lived some life, had some kids, worked, got grandkids, seeing, even your own transformation? What piece of advice or encouragement would you give your 18-year-old self?
My 18-year-old self, I would tell my 18-year-old self, always stay encouraged. Be positive, have faith. I mean, that's the biggest. I mean, have faith. Um, I didn't used to have faith. I really didn't. I mean, I'm just being honest. But as time went on, I have gained a lot of faith, and that is really really important. Um, and I would also just I had to learn that everybody that you think are your friends aren't your friends. I had to learn that. Um, and just to always, I guess you could just say, oh, and I was the type I used to try to look out for others, but then I had to learn I had to put myself first. So that's what I would tell my 18-year-old self: put myself first, others last. But not necessarily last, but I come first. And just basically just love yourself. That's where it all starts. You gotta love yourself. You cannot do nothing for nobody else or anything unless you love yourself. So that's just what I have.
Good advice.
That's it.
So I so enjoyed my conversation with Kiwanis because she is, I don't know how else to say it, but like she's like a little wise sage now. And I'm just like, who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? So thank you, Kiwanis, for being here in spirit and pre-recording with me. And we have to do a part 2, and maybe I have to do a big pre-record with everybody to make sure we're all in and then edit it together. And thank you, Gigi, for championing getting Gina and Daisha involved. And there's so many other people that are so cool in our class. Christy Monroe, Denise Williams. Yeah. I mean, I was just like, how many Black people did we have in that 192? But I'm only interested in the Black girls. The Black boys, y'all, maybe that's another reunion. We ain't worried about y'all.
No Robert and Michael and none of them.
Yes, Robert and Michael.
Yes.
What other Black boys do we have in our class?
Keith and Derek Nesbitt.
Yeah, Derek and Keith. Keith Nesbitt.
Yeah.
Robert Glanton.
Al Grant. What Al in our class?
Yeah, Al Grant.
Earl
Williams. Eugene Stewart.
Yeah.
Oh, I had the biggest crush on Earl Williams. He played basketball, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh man, when they would like be on him, I'll get so mad. Like, get off of Earl.
Oh my
Earl
God.
told me in typing class, Hope, you the kind of girl you marry, you don't date. When you're in 9th grade or 10th grade, you don't want to hear that. I'm like, I am a girl to date. Well, maybe I have to do a special love letter to the Black boys in our class. All right. Well, we're gonna say
real quick, Hope. I watched your with your first love, and I heard you mention that Michael Williams was your first love. How did I not know that?
Wow.
Because I was trying to be cool. In fact, I wrote Michael Williams
in the bathroom.
9th grade. I think in 9th grade. I wrote Michael Williams the longest, like 5-page love note. And it was during the summer before 9th grade year, I think, when he was I think it was before. And I wrote like 5 pages, and he wrote back like less than a half a page. And he was like, I love you so much. You're such a special friend. I just don't feel the same way. I was so crushed. And I was
thought
like,
you was about to say you wrote his name in the bathroom.
You like Tabor, you like Tammy. Why can't you like me? And so,
Tammy Tunnage.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but like for a season, Michael Williams and I did like almost everything together after school.
Oh, really?
And we would watch TV and fall asleep on the phone. And I was like, he's secretly loving me. He just won't admit it. But yeah, Michael Williams, I thought I would never get over Michael Williams. I really did. I was like, I'm going to be in love with him forever.
Oh, wow.
Talking about not the right hue for the crew.
Oh, wow.
But,
gosh.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys, if you can stay on a little bit, I want to say bye to you. But I want to say bye to my broadcast family. Thank you so much. Go to Bible study. It's Wednesday night. I love you guys.
I love you more. I love you, Gigi.